getting better at loading the magazines. That one very close. Ejected fine. We're talking about the American Ranch here. Let me get out of the way here. So now we're just at 50 yards. Fucking, yeah, I am wearing the same shirt, by the way, as it was yesterday and the day before. The failure to fire ratio is pretty high for 6 rounds right there. Maybe we see the primer there. So, I don't know. I'm not too happy right now. You know, say you were like hunting with this rifle, you go take a shot, and you know, click, right? That's nothing you ever want to hear, like when you're in a sort of a rushed moment, and I mean, then you have to recock it, try it again, or just cycle around and get a new one in there. Either way, that's gonna have a lot of noise. So I don't know. Here's another round that wouldn't fire, just another reload. They're all reloads I'm shooting today. It's a Hornady 150 grain full metal jacket, cellular and bellet primers. This is a federal case with, I think, 4227. Stick it in here like the Titanic for a second. Now if I had a magazine here, I'd just toss this in there and close the bolt, but okay. Aim it down, slam fires. Okay. Try this one. Camera angle. Same target. Okay, well, I guess that does say something about the American Ruger. Something's wrong with the firing pin spring, headspace, something's wrong with it. I wanted to demonstrate a little bit closer. So when you're, you know, maybe resting the gun on something and you go a little bit too far, there goes your mag. Be mindful of that if you're using a rest. Maybe there's a modification that can be done just to maybe lessen the lip so it doesn't catch as easily. But it's also a very weak spring, so that's something to consider if you're hunting or you're trying to do precise shots and you need to use some kind of a rest on the bottom of your gun. For that reason, I would recommend a bipod, even though it's kind of heavy on the front there. But yeah, so just wanted to show you that up close. Let's try some different primers. These are Leatherhead 220 grain powder coated projectiles. These are all reloaded Barnes 300 Blackout brass, so there should be no head spacing issues. And these are all CCI 400 primers, small rifle primers, which are industry standard in, from what I know, in reloading. So let's load these up in this magazine. It seems like the magazine is getting a little bit easier to load. The first round, just so I can try to do this one-handed. I might not be able to. What is going on here? There we go. Seems like it's like, I don't know if it's just the metal is working away at it, but the magazine does seem to be. With two hands, this is even easier. So. And for those of you that do reload and you're looking for cheap subsonic stuff that doesn't, you know, super foul up your barrel, then that actually feeds into the gun without, you know, like the Missouri Bullet Company, they have a flat nose, so they don't feed in there too well. But these, from what I've tested, feed just fine. And if you're watching Fire Mountain Outdoors, since I know we were talking back and forth about this. These have been working great so far, and I'm gonna have to do this with 2 hands, but just to let you know, it is getting a little bit easier to load them. Okay, there's 6 rounds. Definitely feels heavier with those 220s in there. This is a rotary style magazine. See how it kind of dips down a little bit? But the rounds kind of are in a semicircle rather than just straight down from what I know. So let's load it up and see how these primers and brass function in the American Ranch 300 Blackout. Barnes 300 Blackout factory brass with CCI 400 primers. The powder, I believe, is 4227, IMR 4227. Fed perfect. This might be a little gun, actually. That was a lot of smoke. No, it doesn't smell like little gun. Maybe CCI is where it's at. "50 yards away, nothing big deal." Now that might be a little gun, actually. Either way, it's feeding, and the primers are igniting the powder, so it wouldn't really matter what powder choice is in there. So maybe the cellular and bellow brass or primers just don't function well with this particular gun. They work fine in my 308 bolt action Mossberg MVP Patrol. They work fine in the AR, as you saw. I'm gonna let the barrel cool down, and we'll do some more testing. I did end up sanding down that really sharp corner here, and also in the magazine. Well, I'm sure that will be appreciated. The bolt seems to be wearing in, like it's getting quieter, smoother. Put a lot of lube on it. You can actually see like little silver parts where the black sort of, I guess, melanite finish is kind of giving way and then getting a little bit smoother. Let's let this cool down, and we'll get to the next part of the video. We're moving back to Full Metal Jacket. This is again Hornady 150 grain Full Metal Jacket rounds. These are all factory 300 Blackout brass. The first 4 are, I don't know what masked 300 Blackout is, but this ADI stuff is you can find at Cabela's. I think it's called Advanced Defense Industries or something like that. I don't know, but it's all 300 Blackout brass. And then we're moving back to cellular and bellow primers and see if maybe it's like a headspace issue. I really don't know. So we'll see if this runs a little better. I have plenty more of these with factory 300 Blackout brass. So if this works, we'll see how many it works until it fails. Let's start. Got another 6 rounds in here. These are the cellular and bellow primers again. Okay, first one didn't fire. Let's give it another shot. If it doesn't fire in this, I'm going to make a collection of whatever doesn't fire and make maybe a whole magazine's worth in the AR and see if it cycles through all of it. I'll do two chances per round. Fired that time. Obviously, I don't know why I needed to say that. Failure to fire. Recock it. Okay, so I think it is those cellular and bellow. We're going to try 6 more CCI 400 primers. If we have one failure to fire, we'll know it's the gun and not the primers. Let's try it out. This time, it's the leather heads again. CCI 400 primers, but mixed brass. This is reformed 223-556 brass in here. This is not factory 300 Blackout brass. Let's see if it's the primers. Maybe it's the headspace. We don't know. Feeds perfect. That's great. Leatherhead 220s are where it's at. That's definitely a little gun. I smell that. Okay. CCI 400 primers. Try one more magazine with mixed brass. See if it really is the cellular and bellet. Okay. Our barrel is cooled. It is still a little warm, but again, leatherheads feed great. They feel like butter smooth. You don't even feel them going into the chamber. These are the CCI 400 primers with mixed brass. This is not factory 300 Blackout brass. Okay, I think that proves it. Don't buy cellular and bellet primers if you have an American ranch rifle. Specifically in 300 Blackout, if that makes a difference. I don't think it does. Maybe it does for head spacing. I don't know. But I know I am no longer going to buy cellular and bellet primers. And I'm going to definitely use up the rest of my primers in my AR where there's no issues. So I'm going to pick up some more CCI 400 primers, which are hard to find because they're popular, which sucks. Anyway, that's that. Resolved. So this gun is literally fed everything that has sort of a point to it. So that means, you know, this kind of a spectrum, you know. So from this sort of round nose profile to this pointy thing. Actually, it fed better. It feeds better with these rounder nose ones than it does with these super pointy ones. I've had quite a few, maybe 4 failure to feeds, maybe 3 failure to feeds today with these more pointed projectiles. I haven't had any failures with 150 grains, but these 110 grain Hornady VMAX, I've had yeah, roughly about 3 that I can remember. So that's great. It doesn't like flat nose projectiles. If you watch Fire Mountain Outdoors video on the Missouri bullets, so avoid those. Avoid cellular and bellet primers. Buy CCI 400 small rifle primers, or you know, CCI in general, I guess. I haven't tried out any of the others for this rifle. But yeah, other than it doesn't like the cheapest primers, I really like it. Still, the downside is this magazine. You know, both, you know, just the sort of design. I mean, I like the design, I like the idea. I wish it was more robust. I wish it had a stronger magazine spring. I don't know if they're making this for like people, like for children, like for someone that doesn't have fucking finger strength to, you know, it's just, why didn't they choose a stronger spring? I don't know. Maybe they couldn't fit one in there. And the fact that, you know, if you're resting up against something, you push it slightly forward, the damn thing just falls out of the gun. So that's kind of annoying. I don't imagine that happening too often now that I'm aware of it, though. But still annoying. Yeah, that's all I can think of that's really negative about it, besides the fact that it doesn't have a Picatinny rail. But if you're using scope rings as opposed to a scope mount, I don't think it really matters. And you just pop it on there. It's the same dimensions, other than the spacing of the slots If you can see them, you know, see how there's that little, just the spacing of the slots is different. So I'm gonna take a few more shots with a slightly better camera angle. I literally only have 3 of these, the ones with the 300 Blackout cases with Lil Gun. I ran out of that powder recently. Okay. Get them having to hold up about 14 inches. Looks like I knocked the target off. I can still hit it though. I think I saw the fucking vapor trail. BF4, man. Try some different loads here. I got a bag full of different various loads. Let's see what we got. This is 9 grains of 4227. Same projectile, same case, same primer. Let's see what the holdover is on this. I'll let you know. I'm gonna try the same holdover. Okay, so 9 grains of 4227. It's pretty much comparable to 9 grains of, or I think it's 8 grains actually of Lil Gun. So we'll go. These both are 8 grains of 4227. Let's see what these look like. Same holdover. So those shoot a little bit lower, of course. So the holdover, let's see. I nicked it. Looks like the holdover is going to be about 4 inches higher, around there. Let's see what else we got. This is 11 grains of 4227. That should be more dead on hold. Let's see. Don't know where that went. Let's see what this is. 9 grains again. 4227. Yep, same hold as a Lil Gun. 8 grains. I think I shot all my 1680 subsonic loads. That one shot to the right. That was weird. This is 8 grains of 1680. That one shot really low. Okay. That one shot. I did the same holdover, so and it hit like a foot or more below the target. This is 8 grains again, so I'm going to try to actually hit it this time. It's about, let's say 2 feet of holdover. That's it. So yeah, it's a cool rifle. I'd give it a thumbs up. Hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe, like, comment, share, all that good stuff. Stay safe, happy shooting, and I hope to see you in a future video. Thank you for watching.